Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante Game Show. My name is Graham Elwood. We are here at the illustrious All Things Comedy studio. It's where I do my Comedy Film Nerds podcast. And very excited that I have two fantastic guests. The miserable liberal Stef Zamorano.
Hi, Graham. Good to see you. This is some fun, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm already excited. I'm wearing my yellow vest, and I am... If you can see it, can you see it? Can anybody see it?
Fomenting discord.
Fomenting. Nice.
Thank you. Somebody's going to win this. I don't want to get ahead of us. Anyways, back to you, Graham.
We're going to go over the prize bag in just a second.
Was that his name for me? Prize bag?
That's what I was thinking.
Right?
It's like, hey, the lady.
Hey, say hello to my prize bag over here.
You have a trophy wife? I got a prize bag.
Oh, well.
So, say hello also to Mr. Jimmy Dore, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I talked before I was introduced. That was certainly not... Anyway, good to see you. Thanks. Great to be here. Hope everybody wins a lot of prizes.
I want this to be kind of match gamey, where we're all drunk and we just we all talk over each other.
Okay.
So I want to welcome everybody at the live chat. So here's what's going to happen, folks.
Are we going to talk about my navel?
Yeah.
Because that's what they would always do on Match Game.
Yes.
His navel. This is how does a show use a word that no one else uses? That show used that word. No else. Anyway, sorry.
Nobody else uses navel. So what's going to happen, guys? We're going to go over the prize bag in a second.
I'm sitting right here.
Graham.
What? What do I?
Right.
I'm just, that's how we talk about, I'm sorry. The broad over here.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, folks, Steph and Jimmy are each going to play for one of you. The first two people to put up a $10 super chat starting right now. Those two people, boom,
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
You're going to the first two $10 super
or
chats.
in Espanol, primero, dos.
Dos.
I think that's the first two. Yeah.
I haven't been this excited since I watched Bozo's TV Pong.
It really should be that exciting. It should be as fun as Bozo's TV.
Pow.
People
Pow.
didn't even anticipate
Pow.
the fun that they're going to have tonight.
Pow.
Pow.
Pow. That was Bozo's TV.
Is that it?
Did you ever see it, Graham? Bozo's TV?
I did watch
Pow. They would have a kid at home say the word pow, and that would trigger an electronic thing, and it was like if you were watching Asteroids. Pow. And then it would go try to hit the thing. But, of course, there was a delay, so the kid couldn't do it right. So you're just supposed to go, pow, 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 but the public would go, pow, and they would lose. And anyway, who cares? But, Graham, if you're over 50, you'll enjoy that story.
Well, before we meet who you guys are playing for, let's see what they'll win. First of all, whichever one of you wins, the person you're playing for, I will send them in the mail
a brand new iPhone.
Nope.
Look at that. No?
No, I don't think we can afford that.
Oh, okay.
But they'll get a copy of that. Jimmy, show them the book.
Oh, that's right. Your Country is Just Not That Into You, which is the book I wrote.
Jimmy will sign it. And then it will be delivered to your doorstep later.
That's a twist on a popular cultural, powerful book called... He's Just Not That Into You.
That's correct, Jimmy.
Written by Greg
Barrett.
Greg Barrett, right?
It was a sitcom, or no, it was a talk show.
Yeah.
And they even made it into a movie.
Yes, they made it into a movie.
Yep.
But you're not getting that. What you're getting is Your Country's Just Not That Into You, written by Jimmy Dore.
And after he made all that money, I think, telling people about relationships, I'm pretty sure he got divorced.
I don't know. Oh, he's still
No,
married.
I'm kidding. He didn't get divorced. I'm teasing.
What else can they win, Steph?
Well, thanks for asking, Graham. Somebody's going to win their favorite Donnie Tiny Hands t-shirt.
Oh, Donnie Tiny Hands.
This was designed by Sabrina Figueroa.
And so when we make fun of Donald Trump because he has tiny hands, and it bothers him. That's why, that's just like now we call Chris Cuomo Fredo, because it bothers him. So it bothers Donald Trump that he has tiny hands. So we think it's funny. And there's our Tiny Hands t-shirt.
And then, Graham, I don't know who's going to get this one, but this is the official Jimmy Dore t-shirt.
No.
Nobody's ever worn this,
No.
either T-shirt, just so you know.
Look at that.
These are fresh. Fresh garments.
That's a nice. I like the one where I'm
Freshly
screaming.
baked.
Hold it up.
Oh, yes. I'm holding. Look at it.
Look how nice it is.
Look at
That's
it. That came out
fantastic.
of the gift bag. Is that what
Okay.
that called?
I will also throw in a Political Vigilante T-shirt that is not available online. You can only get them after
That's
live
what I
shows.
understand.
That's
Oh.
correct.
I can't get it on.
No, ma'am.
No online.
Okay.
You cannot.
All right. And everybody knows you're going to get this sweet, sweet vest.
Oh, and this vest.
Now, let's say they don't win, Steph, or they weren't the first two people. Now, first two people to do a $10 super chat. These are who we'll be playing
If
for.
they don't win, we're gonna give them something shitty.
First time-
What's that, Graham?
Well, they're going to win a copy of the
Oh, there
Jimmy
you go.
Dore CD.
A CD I recorded in 2006 in
Oh.
Cincinnati. I got to tell you, it's a breezy listen and it still holds up.
Oh, and a delicious Nature Valley granola bar.
in the
This is-
mail. You're gonna get that in the
You're
mail.
going to get that in the mail. I'm sure it won't go bad. These are great for disaster packs.
That's right. Oh, you need a disaster pack.
So check this out. And I will throw into the winners bag. I will throw in a Political Vigilante T-shirt, as I said.
Wow.
So this is as exciting. This is as exciting as it gets, folks.
Oh, I can't wait for that first.
Now, let's
question.
say anybody. First of all, we got 47 people watching. Like and share.
Wow, that's
Share.
already exciting.
That's already
47.
exciting. Come on.
That's
push it
about
up.
the same size of a class of ninth grade freshmen that I used to teach.
Oh, my God.
47. 47.
Now, Graham, when you live stream this, I just figured out last week that you could actually put a title in your live stream. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh, so what's the title for this one?
Oh.
Aha!
No. What are we calling this, Aaron?
It's the Political Vigilante Game Show Live.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't say with Jimmy Dore and Stef Zamorano?
Well, that'd be a great
Maybe
idea.
that would get a few more views.
We should put that in there. He's changing it right now. I'm not used to having help. When I do
Oh.
my show, it's just me all alone
Just
in an
you?
apartment. So I usually just put, when I do my live chat every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific, I always just put Graham answers your questions, and then I put the date.
Oh, okay.
That's catchy.
Is that
Catchy.
Boom, it's on there.
There you go.
Now it's there,
With
ladies.
Now
Jimmy
let's
Dore.
let it sit for a little while and see what happens. And but you work by yourself. See, I can't do that, so that's why I sold my wedding ring just so I could hire somebody. But it's certainly worth
True
it.
story. True story.
Yeah, and it makes it more fun to go to the mall again.
It does.
I mean, I didn't used to go to the mall because it's kind of old, but now I'm going back.
Outstanding.
No, does anybody go to the mall anymore? Have you been to the mall lately?
No, I haven't been to a mall. Why would I go to a
I'm
mall?
trying to think if I went to a mall. I usually just like to go watch movies. I'll sometimes have to
Oh,
go to a mall. I was
yeah.
at the fashion something in Torrance or something like that. It was crazy.
I walked through a mall in Pasadena. It was open air, and I didn't go into any store. Just walked from one street to another. Colorado to Green, right? And then
Yes, the Paseo in beautiful
Paseo.
Pasadena.
They tried to make it like the Grove, and they must have hired like the guy who owned the place's kid to design it because he wasn't good, and that's the only job he could get because it's horrible. The Paseo in Colorado in Pasadena is the worst designed mall in the history of mall designs. They have all that restaurants hidden. You can't see them. You want to have the restaurants in the middle with open air so people, like in the Grove. No, they have them in, like you have to go down a hallway, up a step, and then down, and then they're all hidden. It's stupid. It's the dumbest thing. Yeah, it's a horrible mall. Yep.
Yeah,
they didn't
well,
go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, like, we were in New York, and, you go to New York, you can actually go to a park, and you can actually sit down in the park, and life is happening there at a park. It turns out in Pasadena, they don't want you to go to parks. There are no parks. There are hardly any park benches anywhere.
That's correct.
So, like a lot of cities in California, they're created so don't anybody loiter here. No loitering, no enjoying the city. Keep this moving along. Keep it moving along.
Get in your car, hippie.
Yeah. So, like, when we were in, it was great sitting. It was Washington Square Park. That's where we were seated.
Yes.
And it was fantastic. But I want to say really quickly, there was a guy
Oh.
we were having a really nice afternoon. Everybody just kind of sits and relaxes. You look at the dogs, you see the pigeons. And this woman is sitting beside me. And this man comes and sits here, and then he's on his phone super loud. We're all tranquil.
Super loud.
We're all taking it in, and he comes and he sits down, and he's like, yeah, anyways, blah, blah, blah. And the woman turns to him, and I'm like, what courage? She goes, hey, you know what? Can you lower your voice? We're all hanging out here, and I can't even hear. And she has earbuds, and he looks at her, and he keeps talking
On
loud.
the phone, he goes, yeah, this bitch next to me is telling me I better be quiet. I come here every day. She should go back to her own country. No kidding.
No.
No kidding. Yeah, to go back to your own country. And Steph, what did you say?
I just like, I don't know.
Have you looked at yourself?
Has he looked at himself? He was dark skinned. He looked foreign. I'm like, you really can't say go back to your own country if you're a person of color. Or you could say it if you're a Native American. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you
He
go.
was not a Native American.
Not a Native American.
No, he was not.
So yeah, it was. So that was kind of annoying. But
And that's the kind of fun I'm talking about. You can have
in New
sitting.
York.
So let me ask you this before we get into the game show.
I thought I won with that story.
that was it.
Oh.
Big winner.
Gift bag.
Gift bag. So how do you view this now? The DNC looks like it's pretty actively trying to make sure Tulsi is not going to be in the next.
Isn't that a shocker?
Yeah, it's so shocking. The one woman who calls out the DNC is all about diversity and girl power and everything, but not if you're anti-war. If you're an anti-war woman of color, then we're gonna shut you down.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. In fact, we're upset if Trump insults a Gold Star family because you're not supposed to do that because we respect our veterans. Unless there's someone currently serving, then you can smear her as a traitor to our country and not sufficiently patriotic. Someone who's currently serving.
Yeah, currently, just was in Indonesia right now, right?
Right. It came back 3 days ago. She's back. Yeah, that's so that just goes to show you all that, and that's another reason why Trump won, because when the left does their outrage, they look at it as full outrage, and you know why? Because it most of the time is.
Yeah.
If you're upset at Trump insulting a Gold Star family, and you should be, then you also have to be equally upset when 6 morons sit around a table on ABC's morning television and insult someone as not sufficiently patriotic who's currently serving, who joined the military after 9/11 and then saw how bullshit war was and now is against it. And so that's what. So if you're against war and in the military, you're a piece of shit. But if you're for war and in the military, you can never say anything about that person.
And she is polling. That's the big deal.
Right.
That there is you can go and find
23
plenty
polls.
of polls that she is polling well, but those polls don't count.
No, they don't count. And what's the criteria you use for a poll? We pick first of all, it's arbitrary. We don't tell you, but I'm going to guess it's whatever polls Tulsi doesn't do well in. Those
That's
are the
the
ones
poll.
we're using.
Oh, those are the ones we're using.
Yeah. You know, they're talking about this Monmouth poll from last week. Everybody's talking about it, right? How Joe Biden. Do you know how many people they polled? Like 283 people. That's why it had a margin of error of over 5%. So how can you use a poll like that? So Tulsi doesn't poll, or she could be at 5%. That's a stupid poll.
It's showing like how ridiculous their system is, and they keep saying, after 2016, they're like, oh, we heard you, we don't want to, the super delegates are a problem. They're still using them. They just trimmed the number back, and they're pushing them into the second ballot.
Correct.
Which is just a tactic, as we know
That's right.
they're going to use to screw Bernie and Tulsi.
Yeah. They're like, well, how do we still keep control? Oh, I know. We'll just push it to has Elizabeth Warren in because she did that deal with Hillary Clinton last time, not to A, run, and B, not to endorse Bernie Sanders. Because if she would have endorsed Bernie Sanders, he would have kicked her ass in Iowa and New Hampshire, and Hillary Clinton would have been out of the goddamn race.
Right.
Yeah, but she didn't. She made a deal with the Clintons that she wouldn't do that. And so now here she is running, and why is she running? Bernie's already in the race, Elizabeth. Why are you running? Bernie's already in the race.
Right.
There's already somebody who has your exact position. In fact, he was saying it when it wasn't popular. He actually stuck his neck out. So why are you running now? Oh, I know, right? Because she's an establishment person, and she's running to dilute so they can push it to the second ballot, and she's been guaranteed that the superdelegates will pick her. That's why she's running.
Yeah. And nobody, she was a Republican until she was 47. She 2 years ago, she helped
Wait a minute. Let's just enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
Right.
She was a Republican until she was 47. And I want you to look at the whole Democratic leadership.
Right.
How many of them represent still the values of being a conservative?
That's right. They're a conservative party.
Hey, look, and people can say, well, people change their minds. That's not fair. 47, it wasn't like she was 23. 47.
That's right.
Not to mention, 2 years ago, when I believe she was considerably older than 47, she voted with 4 other Democrats to give Trump an extra $80 billion
That's right.
for the war machine.
That's right. The guy they say is being controlled by Putin. Here's the 80 billion, enough money to send everybody into college for free. Here you go for more bombs that nobody wants.
Oh, and he's so bad, we got to resist Trump. So that's why in February, she stood up and clapped when he said we're a capitalist country.
Yes!
We will never be socialist. And who was sitting? It was Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
So, like, I can't listen to her fake. She's just to pull votes
Oh, I am
away.
a capitalist to the bone. That is what I am right now. And who wants to have a beer with me? I mean, that somebody came out to announce her presidential campaign by saying, let's have a beer together. It just, talk about pandering.
And I just watch her like she's going to get clocked by Trump if she were to get the nomination. And here's the polls that this never seems to make the mainstream. So there was just a recent poll that in a head-to-head Bernie versus Trump, Bernie would win in Texas.
Yes.
If Bernie wins if he's the nominee, so we know he's going to get New York, California, the whole West Coast, the whole East Coast. He'll get Illinois, Wisconsin, all those. And then if he gets 38 electoral votes in Texas, it's over.
That's right.
He wins.
Hey, Bernie, people forget Bernie beat Hillary Clinton in Michigan.
Yeah.
Again, and whenever he won a primary, it was against the media and every Democratic politician in that state.
Alaska, which I know only has like 4 electoral votes or something, is another one of those states. He won. The superdelegates gave it to Hillary. But it's like there's so many red states he would pick up in addition to the guaranteed blue states he would get.
So it is not hyperbole and it is not a stretch to say that the Democratic Party, the DNC, Tom Perez, Nara Tanden, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and Nancy Pelosi would rather have Trump as president than have Bernie Sanders. And why is that? Because their donors would rather have Trump than Bernie Sanders. And if they get Bernie Sanders, then their whole business model stops, which is why the DNC decided to start taking fossil fuels again, because hey, we have to keep taking this money, or what the fuck are we going to do? Try to get money from the people? That's not how this works.
Right.
Is there a party that actually represents us? Because
No,
right now
no.
we want Tulsi Gabbard to participate in the debate. That's not going to happen. We actually don't want delegates. We don't want super delegates.
Right.
That's going to dominate this next election again.
What voter wants a super delegate?
Nobody.
We
want single issue debates. They said we're going to do a climate debate, and then Tom Perez says, no, we're not going to have a climate change debate. We're not going to have a debate on climate change. There's a whole row of people and the 4 debates, and 90% of them said that that's the single biggest issue is climate change.
Yeah. If they knew, I think I heard Matt Taibbi say this today, or someone else said, if they knew that there was a asteroid going to hit the planet in 12 years,
Right.
or 10 years is what they've said about climate change, we would be having debates on it. And if you said we shouldn't, you would be considered a crazy person. But climate change is coming at us.
The Amazon is burning.
Equally is
Africa,
catastrophic.
If a meteor was coming to us, it would be like, hey guys, the old way's done.
Yeah.
Every country on the planet
Would have to work together.
Let's cut the crap.
Yeah.
We got to get this done. We got to get it done now.
Right.
And instead, it's like, well, middle ground.
Well,
green.
China's using coal.
Oh God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, they're still taking fossil fuel money, Graham. That's the whole thing. So I don't know how people like Bernie and Ocasio-Cortez and even Tulsi and, as far as even though she's an outcast in the Democratic Party, they all are. Why do they want to keep sheep herding people into that fucking party? And they just like, well, with 2 party, that's it. We're just stuck because that's what the oligarchs want us to have. It's like, why doesn't if you had Bernie, Nina Turner, Ocasio-Cortez, Tulsi, the most popular people in the country, you could start a third party like that overnight and bury the Democrats.
Bury them.
And nobody, nobody, who was it who just said that people vote for the Democrats, but that doesn't mean they like them?
I mean, the other thing too.
And Ocasio-Cortez said that. She says, people voted for Democrat in my district. It's a Democrat district, but they don't vote for them because they like them. She said it's because they're not as bad as the other people.
I'm telling you, and the other thing, we've talked about this a lot, is there's a lot of conservatives, former Trump supporters, who have come on over to Tulsi.
Yes.
because they're like, oh, she's a vet. Because the thing the left always forgets. I always say, you guys on the left, all you heard, and look, Trump says and does say racist, xenophobic stuff. He says awful sexist crap, but they forget that he ran on an anti-interventionist platform.
Yes.
He said, why are we in all these wars? And he hasn't held true to that word, obviously. But there's a lot of people on the right that are like, hey, it was our working class red state sons and daughters that went over there, and it's our that have come back. It's so we don't want any more of these wars. And when Tulsi started saying that, they came on board and went, oh, I like what she has to say. She's active, she's vet. Boom, let's do it. And no one wants like who can beat. They talk about who can beat Trump. I can tell you, Bernie and Tulsi can beat Trump. They could beat Trump today.
Bernie and Tulsi, if that's the ticket, we should start planning on how to take over the Senate.
Yeah.
Because we got the White House. If the ticket is Bernie and Tulsi, either way, Tulsi first, Bernie second, or Bernie first, Tulsi second, either way, that's a winning ticket. And of course, the Democrats don't want that ticket.
No.
They don't want Tulsi because she does appeal to the right wing. She does bring people together in her anti-war message. And by the way, the Democrats are a war party, baby.
Yeah.
And that's why they got to get rid of her.
And the bottom line is they don't want us to be unified.
That's right.
They want to keep us divided.
Of.
That's the big goal here.
I've been called a racist for saying these things, that we should align with anti-war people of all parties and stripes and everything. If you're an anti-war and independent, or you're a right-winger or a libertarian, or doesn't matter. We should all, they're like, oh, you're racist.
Because I don't like war.
Because I don't like war. Yeah, and I think that everybody who doesn't like war should get together. I've been called you know that. I'm not making that up. So that's that identity politics shit. That's what Kamala Harris, they were chanting up at the DNC meeting last weekend, and they're chanting, it's time for a woman in the White House. No, we fucking tried that 4 years ago in 2016, just to vote for a woman because she's a woman. No, it's got to be a woman that actually inspires people and says she's gonna got programs that'll fix their fucking problems. Just because the identity politics over substance doesn't work.
You keep losing on that, and they keep pushing it. It's mind-boggling to me.
I know.
Like, if you want a woman so badly, get Nina Turner and Tulsi Gabbard.
So when they say it's time for a woman in the White House, you mean like Sarah Palin? Oh, you don't mean like that?
No.
Oh, you don't mean like that?
Susan Collins.
So how about Susan? No. How about Michelle Bachmann? You mean like her? Oh, you don't mean like that?
No.
So not just a woman.
Kellyanne Conway. Get Kellyanne Conway in the White House.
She knows how to talk.
Right. So not just any woman, obviously, right? Right. So why do you chant that shit?
Well, we want a woman with good policies. Oh, wow, that sounds like what we've been talking about.
Time for a woman with good policies in the White House. Time for a woman. That's not as catchy.
That's why Kamala's people walked out of when Bernie started speaking. Because that's just to show that there's all this big dissent. It's a theatrical game because Kamala got clocked by Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. And the thing that was so great about that, Kamala, you saw her body language because she was like, oh, I can't play the sexist race card. Right. A woman of color just knocked me out. Which was fantastic. Well, speaking of